Thank you for tuning in to Connect More, featuring the shared experiences, new adventures, and nightmares of four pals who have known each other for decades. Connect More utilizes the swear jar concept to raise funds for the American Cancer Society. When you hear this during the episode, the offender will contribute to the swear jar. We'll update the swear jar each week at the end of the program. We hope you enjoy the show.
Hey, yo, welcome to another episode of Connect More. I'm Eric. There's John.
Hello.
That's Brian.
Greetings.
And there's Jason.
Good day, everyone.
On this episode of Connect More, Jason and I play with some shiny new toys. John and Brian crunch some numbers, and then we whip around for a parking place. But first... Oh, crap. I just lost my place.
That was nice. Whip around for a parking place was really well done. You almost got all the S's out. Yeah, you almost got 3 S's in a row there.
Well, look, John, speaking about being lost, when was the last time you guys got lost? I mean, we have GPS right at our fingers, right?
Yep.
Weenus, when's the last time you got lost?
I mean, I have a real good sense of direction. But December 1980, it went horribly wrong.
December 1980?
December 1980. We're talking truly lost.
Were you on your bike?
I was squirrel hunting near Sandy Beach in Coralville. And
that's just right up the road from me.
With my dad. Yep. I was with my dad. And we're in the woods. We just parked side of the road, went to the public land down there. And I just got totally... I don't know. It just got totally, misdirection. I just couldn't figure it out. And so Dad said, I had a watch on my hand. And Dad said, okay, let's meet back at the car at like 4:30 because it was going to get dark at, like 4:45. I was like, okay. And so I start heading back to the car and I could not find my way back to the car. So I eventually hit a road and a house, and I recognized the house. That was Louis Nedolecki's house on, I think it might have been Sandy Beach Road or something like that. I recognized it because we had to take him. He was on my baseball team, Little League baseball team. We had to take him home a few times.
I thought you were going to say you recognized it because we TP'd it once.
Nope. That's too far out. That's too far out in the country.
I can't believe you stayed in the school district. I'm impressed by that.
But I recognized where I was at, but I know if I went on the road, it'd be like a 4 or 5 mile walk to get back to the car from there. So I went back into the woods and I went back to where I started hunting and sat down in the woods. And then I just started doing concentric circles, out, and out. Go out maybe 20, 30 yards. And I just kept going out, further out, just making circles from my original. And I eventually met up with my dad, probably about 5:15. It was after dark, getting pretty cold, getting pretty dark. And I was breaking a new pair of boots that day. And my feet were just pools of blood because the heel, I scraped up my heel walking around in those brand new boots.
Story just keeps getting better.
Oh, yeah. It was bad. But I can truly say that's probably the last time I was truly, truly lost.
Did you find any ticks on you at all? Or?
It was December, Jason. No.
Oh, okay.
I would have
hibernating.
That would have sworn me off the army, by the way.
Well, I can honestly tell you, I'm even overseas. I know where I'm at any one time, But that day, my sense of direction just went out the door. I don't know why. I don't know how.
Have I never heard that story? Have I forgotten it? Have I heard it 4 times and forgotten it?
I probably never told anybody.
No,
I
that's
don't
a
recognize that
wild
one either.
story.
That's wild. Yeah,
Crazy.
I mean, I've got nothing to compete to that. I mean, I can't remember last time I've been lost that bad. I usually have pretty decent direction on the roads. GPS has helped a ton, right? I mean,
sure,
it's sure a shit lot better than trying to drive into Chicago, going 15 miles an hour over the speed limit, bumper to bumper, and my wife can't read a map. Which happened a couple times and almost led to divorces a couple times. But this isn't so much getting lost, but I just did it again yesterday, twice. Is even with GPS on, Tanya and I, we'll get into a conversation or something, and I'll drive right by my turn. Like I could be going home, a route I've gone forever, and I'll drive right by my turn. Or even like yesterday, the GPS was on telling me take a left here. And we just kept jabbering. I drove right through it.
How much shit does she give you about that?
No, she laughs about it quite a bit. She likes to say, as soon as we get past the turn, she doesn't even say, you should turn there. She likes it when I get past the turn. And then she says this. Where you going, buddy?
Oh, that's nice.
Just really
she's the best.
Just turns that knife.
She's the best.
I love her even more.
What you need is a celebrity GPS. You need like the Batman or the right or
You need
whatever.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel L.
Turn
Jackson.
left, you stupid son of a bitch.
Yes, that's exactly what I need.
That's what you need at a high volume.
Right turn, Clyde. Come on.
Oh, perfect. Good callback. Good callback.
Good one.
Every Which Way But Loose from what, 1981?
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh, guys.
Clint Eastwood.
We got to go to
kids.
that with our dads.
Yes.
Listen, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Google that one and go watch it. And then tell us everything that's wrong with that movie, by the
way. Why they can't make that movie today.
There was no PETA authorization at the end credits of that movie. So a bunch of us, when we got started with cellular phones, we signed up with a relatively local company called US Cellular. It was regional. It was out of Chicago. And they were one of the first to get across Iowa, except that they didn't do a notch in the northwest part of the state. And that had regional, sometimes rural carriers for years. And so the last time that I got lost, this was in either 2013 or 2014. And I share it because that's pretty late in time, right? You're already working on GPS by those years.
Right.
And I had to be at something in Storm Lake in Buena Vista County. Check it, kids. And I was coming back, and it was night, and it was storming, and I no longer had the data. I just had a phone because it was one of those rural carriers on iWireless or whatever. And it's worst in like Dickinson and Emmett. This isn't true anymore. It hasn't been true for 12, 13 years. But it back then, you got off your main wireless network, and God only knows what you were going to get. You would get phones sometimes, you get emergency sometimes. And so I got going south on 71. I don't know why it was important that I take 71 coming back to Des Moines, but I didn't turn at 20, and I got on something called 471 coming south toward Des Moines. And it didn't help that all of the towns are like Wall Lake, Lake View, and Lake something else. And I'm like, this is not fucking helping. That I don't remember.
Crystal Lake.
I don't remember whether Lake was the modifier or the actual name of the thing, but I got going east on 175, which I recognized because it comes all the way over to like Grundy County, and I got myself down to 71 again. But there was in 2013 or 2014, there was about 25 minutes late at night one time where I really wasn't sure. I was like, I don't know where I am. Do I have enough gas to do this? What is that sign? Which lake town does that sign say?
Well, up in that neck of the woods too, landmarks are pretty far between. Like you got to drive a long way before you see another road sometimes. Yep. If you're going the wrong direction and you run into a landmark and you're like, well, shit, I was going west. I thought I was going east. I mean,
yeah, and it's like I'm on a state highway, so am I going to turn off this? Probably not.
Right. Yeah. Not when it's stormy and late and you don't want to take that suspect gravel
Not taking
road.
Gravel roads. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What we say in the blue parts of the world at this moment is, I heard banjos. But because I want to be culturally appropriate, I will just say it got a little scary for me.
Yeah, it's a good thing you didn't say that then.
Ding, ding.
I thought in northern Iowa it's not the banjo, it's the mouth harp, right?
Oh
It's
my
the
God.
little twang thing.
Sure.
Wayne, you've got relatives up north at
I do.
southern Minnesota.
I do. That's what we do at Christmas every year. Yeah.
Storm Lake is a beautiful town, by the way. I've enjoyed
It
every
is.
moment I've spent
It
in Storm
is.
Lake.
Yeah, it is. Jason, you just went camping. Did you guys get lost?
kind of. That was going to be my most recent adventure.
Oh, okay. I mean, just a guess.
No, I was just, for the longtime listeners may know that I was going on a high adventure trip for scouts with my son, and we were out last week in northeastern Oklahoma on a 40,000 acre scout ranch northeast of Tulsa. And we knew we were going in the right direction. Like, we know we have to go north, and we know north is that way, but we didn't know necessarily if we were on the right trail. And, we knew we were going the right direction, so we just kind of kept going, and there weren't a lot of landmarks, and there wasn't a lot of trail markers and things like that, so we kind of kept walking, and we kind of stumbled onto some landmarks and looked at our maps and turned it upside down and twisted it around a couple times, like, oh, no, I think that's that trail right there, and that one over there, this is where they split off, so let's turn left here. We kind of triangulated ourselves into the correct location, but we didn't know specifically where we were, but we got there on time and safely. So that was my most recent. That was just like 4 days ago that we were. It was a little bit dicey, but we were never like in danger or anything, but it was a little bit like, let's just see where this goes. It was fine.
Do the Boy Scouts still have compasses?
Oh,
or are those an anachronism?
Oh, no.
The compass in the hand?
Yeah, GPS doesn't help you because the trails aren't mapped to GPS, so you have to use a map. And we had a map, and we knew, the sun rises in the east and sets in the west, and the sun is just coming up over the horizon there, so we know that that's north, and off we went. So it was fine.
Well, I think we've established that we can get lost on foot, in a car, in town, or in the rural.
We got it covered.
Good times.
If we were all lost together, I think we would have all that covered, and we would get out of there in no time. I have no doubts we would be found in no time.
Yeah, I think the zombie episode just got longer. or really short, depending on how you think about it.
I hope somebody's got a scorecard on this, because this zombie episode's going to have be multifaceted.
Zombie part 2 is going to be amazing.
Hey
guys, spoiler alert, I'm going to talk more about GPS in the next segment.
Some trends deserve a comeback. Others should have stayed in the lava lamp era. In That Aged Well, we revisit the fads and phases we once knew, some with nostalgia, others with a full-body cringe. The rumor is that Gen X hates all modern culture, and that rumor has gotten out of hand. We don't hate everything. We don't hate everything that the kids are doing these days. So we're gonna look around our lives and think about consumer items or trends or music or movies and things from the last 10 years that we think are worth keeping, things produced by the kids these days that we like. So I can get us started. I think this will be a pretty quick discussion because you guys might even know where this is headed. One of my most favorite things from the recent generation has produced is the Linda Lindas, which you all know is a band that I love. 4 teenage girls from California who are doing some punky pop music that is
Vegas.
going to stand the test of time.
Vegas.
So,
but yeah, they're fantastic.
Yeah. So
yeah,
that's my pick.
Yeah, and I'm jealous you got to see him at Woolies in Des Moines. That would have been a ton of fun.
That was fun, and the fun thing was it was an all ages show, so I got to take my kids even to it.
Yeah,
and there were a bunch of other kids there, and they're just teenagers themselves. So to see them inspiring this next generation of kids to play music and be themselves and all that stuff was just fantastic. And they're very inspiring. I think they're coming out with a new album this year, so they'll be on my best of 2026 list, I'm sure, when we get to that episode toward the end of the year.
I think for that Woolies show, the band, the Linda Lindas, did something in conjunction with some, I don't want to insult it by calling it a kids club or something.
Well,
bands or something.
Well, it
didn't
was
they?
you know that movie, The School of Rock.
Yeah.
You know that inspired programs all over the country called School of Rock.
Oh, okay.
Where they teach kids how to play rock and roll music. So there's
Yeah.
a School of Rock in Des Moines.
Oh, so that's what it
And
was.
so they invited the School of Rock kids to get up there and play music and things. So they were all there and they did 4 or 5 songs probably before the Linda Lindas got on stage. And the cool thing was they were in the audience like dancing during the School of Rock performances.
Cool.
And we were watching them. I looked over, I'm like, I think that's the Linda Lindas over there. Like they're over there in the crowd dancing with the other kids and stuff. It was so fun.
That is cool. They are definitely in the last 10 years. And they, right? Doesn't the story go? They kind of basically taught themselves how to play music and they did it over, like Facebook or Teams or something with each other.
I think their parents of several of the girls are musicians.
Oh, okay.
So there was a little bit of predisposition there to be musical.
Yeah.
And I think they really started playing, though, during COVID, like a lot of people did. And there was some sort of a competition at their local library, some sort of kids' music competition. They entered that competition, and that was where they first debuted that song, Racist, Sexist Boy.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of went super viral. And after that success, they recorded their first album, and here we are.
I wish our parents were podcast hosts, so we had a predilection to be able to jumpstart.
They were podcast hosts, but it was just around a card table smoking cigarettes and drinking Schmidt beer.
Hey, we went around
and
selling
telling
mysteries in a
stories.
van. I'll
red,
put
white,
that
blue.
up against this.
Red,
That
white,
was
and
a
blue. My
70s
dad.
podcast. Yeah.
My dad would drink red, white, and blue. Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to tell you my favorite thing that's popped up in the last 10 years. It's a technology thing, so I don't want to talk over everyone's head here. But as you know, I like to cook and bake. And so the greatest invention in the last 10 years is this thing called the jump to recipe button. So when you look up a recipe
Online.
I don't have to read this whole story about how this, like, I don't want to know the story about how your granny taught you to make a pizza crust in January in a blizzard in a backwoods cabin. Just give me the fucking recipe. Jump to recipe button. I love that thing. It should be up for, definitely one of the best inventions in the last 10 years.
What's even better than the jump to recipe button is the print recipe button, because then it just brings it up as a nice printable file too.
Oh,
like
that is all. Yes.
Where you don't have to look at all the ads and all that stuff. It just brings it up as a regular text only kind of thing.
Yeah, without all those pop-ups and everything.
Yep.
I think you guys are nailing it for dudes cooking. We should just have a website called Give Me the Fucking Recipe.
No, but as we talked earlier, I mean, I know GPS is older than 10 years, but I think they've really sharpened it quite a bit in the last 10 years. I mean, and I think I really do. I absolutely love it. It gives you more confidence to go somewhere. It helps you with your planning. How long's a trip take? It tells you when there's slower traffic or a stoppage of traffic up ahead.
Google tells you where the popo's at.
So
Yeah.
Wayne, I was just going to say, we went and visited Jack on the way far side of Cedar Rapids from us, right? So we got to take 380 through town there.
Yep.
And I put in the directions for home, and she's like, "What? You don't know how to get home from here?" I said, "I do, but I got to take 380, and that'll tell me where the cameras are, so I know when to, where you have to bump down, right?"
Yep.
So, I think that's kind of been, I don't know, one of my more favorite things in the last 10 years, the way they've really done that so much better.
Well, and the more recent innovation, so this is definitely within the last 10 years, like connected with GPS, is Google Maps is now my favorite way to use public transportation. Because like when I go to a different city, I like to take the public transportation. And instead of downloading their stupid app for whatever city you're in, or looking at the stupid like directions that you can get off of their dumb, outdated apps that every city has, you just put it in Google Maps. It far outperforms every other way to use public transportation. It is excellent. What stop to get off on, how long, when the next train is coming, where to walk to get to the transfer station,
and along those lines,
to the foot. It's incredible.
And along those lines, like where to park your car too.
Oh,
in
it's
some
awesome.
downtown, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I need
Yeah.
to put in a plug for the Waze app, though. If you're moving around and you want to identify what's happening, because it's crowdsourced, they do a better job of telling you exactly where Popo is. So if you're, if you want to know what the speed of traffic is, you want to know how long it's really going to take, it's more calibrated and it's crowdsourced. And that Waze has pulled me off of accidents, and rerouted me many times, as long as I'm willing to listen to it, which I'm not always.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that. It was that was a feature of that. That's cool.
Sir, here's my thing. Picking up where Paco left off, but aimed the other way. My trend or thing from the last 10 years is these deep space telescopes, like the James Webb Telescope and the Event Horizon Telescope. And those pictures of the black hole from 2019, that was just stunning. And I love being alive at a time when we can see beyond the end of the solar system and out into the cosmos and recreate all of our assumptions that we had. And there's one in here for you, Ween, in just a second. But they did all the flybys, and so I have seen Jupiter and I've seen Neptune. Here we go, Brian, and I've seen
Uranus.
That's right, I've seen Uranus, and it's
You want to see it again?
The icy surface of Uranus. I do not. I've seen all I need to see, but. It's we had like the black hole thing was like just being theorized when we were kids, and it was like, well, what does one look like, and is this even real, and how stupid is that? And then you're like, you're looking at one, and that's a lot in a short time, I think, to take in.
I always
that's an excellent one. Yeah.
I always like how technology is getting better. My thought is like video. Like video is higher quality now. Photos are better now. I mean, stuff on your phones is better. Just comparing age, back in the day, 15 years ago, everything was like standard definition or high definition. Now you're talking 2, 4, and 8K. And
Black and white, grainy. Isn't it amazing
Yes.
when you go back and one thing that always stops me is if it's on marquee or something is any clips that involve the 1984 Cubs.
Oh yeah.
And I watch it and I sit there and I'm like, how did
Wow.
we ever watch TV back then? How was this even enjoyable?
Yeah.
I love the computer graphics and stuff that you see on old sports clips where they're putting the
Yes.
score up on the
That's
screen
the old
and stuff.
CGs
It's so
we call them.
primitive and
Yeah.
things. It's
With
just
shadows.
awesome.
Yep.
And like, this drives me crazy when I see filters, because I'm like, kids, don't filter your stuff. This is the best visual representation of who we are that we've ever had. Just take a great picture,
That's good.
do something dopey and smile. Yeah. And then, as I look at laptops, I'm kind of shopping for laptops. This thing Brian just brought up is the number one thing. It's the ability to store all that video that's coming in at 4K.
Yeah, I remember that. This is more than 10 years ago, but my first like flat screen LED, I think it was just a 32 inch, but just plugging that in and turning that on, you're like, whoa, what is this?
When my dad got out that old Pong game, to hook
Yeah.
up and play for the boys,
Oh,
he
yeah.
also had like an old black and white tube TV. And he's
Nice.
like, I think this is the one you guys had in your dorm room. Like, remember we had those in our dorm, those little shitty black and white little TVs
The
with the
convex
knobs and
screen.
stuff?
Yeah.
Because we didn't even have cable. We didn't have cable in our dorms. It was
No.
all just
What are you guys
rabbit
on?
ears.
I'm on UHF, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people hung out in our room because I was one of the few people who had color TV. Yeah. The first year.
My pinky is out for you. I had no idea you were that sort of upper crust. You were swanky. Color TV.
Yep. Actually, my parents wanted a drawing. I'm not going to lie.
Was
You
it a
want it in
drawing,
a
or
drawing?
was it bingo night? Was
No,
it
they
Lutheran
wanted it in
bingo
a
night?
drawing. Sometime during the summer, I came home and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna take the one from the drawing, and you're gonna get our old color and take it up to school with you." I'm like, sounds good to me.
They didn't win it as a radio call-in. Like, you're the 25th caller.
No,
You win a color TV.
That was perfect. How is that not the format of this podcast? That just pisses me off.
Stop feeding John's morning zoo
Oh,
fantasy.
sorry.
Gosh, dang it. I don't know what that is.
Boing.
Seventh color right now. We're giving away a Sylvania 37-inch.
I mean, we have cha-chings in this show already. What more do you want?
I want my slide whistle. You know that.
All right, guys. Well, I think we might be giving this current generation just a little bit too much credit. So before we let their egos get overinflated with how well they're doing right now, because let's face it, most of the stuff they're doing right now is still garbage. Let's move on to the next segment here. Dial up some numbers, Hedge.
You can crunch the numbers, twist the stats, and question the logic, but in the end, the truth sticks because numbers don't lie. Even when they leave us scratching our heads, we're here to break down the stats that surprise, impress, or just don't add up at first glance. So, gentlemen, a number that you saw or found or learned recently that you didn't believe when you first saw it. And I am going to Ween.
I have a couple good ones here. They're not necessarily new, but they're good. Here's the first one. The world's richest 1% of people own about half of the wealth. And I'm sure it hasn't gotten better since SpaceX either. It's probably even worse.
51% of the wealth now.
Yeah, exactly. The other one is an oldie but goodie. It's called the birthday paradox. In a room of 23 people, there's a 50% chance that 2 people in that room share a birthday.
Oh, I love that one.
And I had a college professor do this, and it actually worked. We had like 24, 25 people in the class, and sure enough, 2 people had the same birthday.
You had a duplicate birthday. That's stupid. That's amazing. Yeah. No. Good one. Good one. Paco, what do you got?
Mine's not near as fun. Mine's more of a Hedgecoth lecture. So I dedicate this riff to my good friend John Hedgecoth. But
I see you scratching your head already. Well, here we go.
It was a number I read recently in the Des Moines Register, and it was according to the Iowa Secretary of State's office in 2025. In the November city school election in Iowa, there were 157 local races. 157 local races in 122 cities that had no candidates on the ballot. I mean, that's no candidates.
Nobody, not uncontested, but nobody. Couldn't find anybody to put their name on the ballot.
Not even a name, not even in an uncontested format. That was 0 candidates. You know, and this is something I've been watching for the better part of 15 years now. And I think it demonstrates not only the shrinking populations in a lot of our rural communities, but it also puts a focus on how shitty it is to run for even a mayor of a small town in Iowa anymore. And I got to figure this is happening around the country too, right? The venom of the national campaigns has really seeped down into the small towns via social media, and it's tearing our great little villages apart. Not to mention even families in those areas. I saw that happening over issues from where I was in Clinton County, and I see it in other when they talk about right now data centers is the big deal, or they talk about wind turbines, and who wants to be on a city council or a school board now when just doing your job lends you to this very vile criticism on Facebook? Shit, it's so bad you can't even now go, you're the mayor of the town and you can't even walk into your local tavern now and not have everyone give you eyes or say shit to you. It just is, it's not as fun as it used to be. Man, I used to encourage people to run for public office all the time. I mean, I encourage everybody. And now I'm like, I'm glad you're thinking that way, but are you sure you want to do that? Like I just came down from that. It was, I'm not doing that. I never say never, but
well, the disappointing one for me is the school boards. Like how those school board folks are just under fire right now, under ridiculous, ridiculous, and usually national issues being pushed down to the local level. Like, you're trying to get our kids to be trans. And these school board members are like, what are you talking about? Like, this is not an issue in our schools.
Yeah, the folks who put all that together did a great job because it gives you both the wins on policy and keeps your voters with you, and it also gives you a bench, right,
Oh.
of these nutty people. Now, the good news is a lot of those folks have been losing in recent years. It's not the guaranteed win that it was even a couple cycles ago. But yeah, I see it driving this thing. I see the relationship of the last two things you guys talked about for sure, right? It dissuades people from even participating. I can even imagine in a small town or county, the people are so close in terms of knowing each other in the community that it's not just that they're coming after you on social media, it's what they say and know about you, right? They're going to use 8th grade stuff against you or tell you that your
Yes.
aunt is really your mother. Like it would be the humiliation of a lifetime to be mayor. And like, how did we get here?
It truly is awful, and it's sad. It's truly tearing communities apart, and I hate to see that. But that's, again, something I've been watching for a while, and those numbers that just came out recently really put a spotlight on that. I thought, guys, come on, how was my Hedgecoth rant?
Listen,
I think
that
it was
was
at least
super,
an 8.
That was super
was at least
depressing and
an
nerdy.
8.
I want
Yeah.
to close this laptop right now.
Yeah,
I'm
that was
out.
pretty good.
We're done. Like we're
He just set the bar a little bit higher for you, didn't he, John? You got to
Jason,
up your game.
save us from this. Save us from this. I can't believe it's this thing's going to swing on you, but it is. Here we go. Whole segment right here.
Well, the numbers that kind of they're stunning, but really not that surprising, I guess, is that Iowa is the most altered, biologically modified state in the union. Only 1% of Iowa's total land area is permanently accessible for public use. 1%
Wow.
is available as public access.
I believe
That's
it.
the lowest in the country.
And that's because of how we
98
value the soil.
But 98% of our land, 98% of land in Iowa is privately owned. Only 2%
Wow.
is public access or like owned by a municipality or a government or something like that. 98%
Like
privately
Nebraska
owned.
beat us, for Christ's
Like,
sake. That's bad.
Fence line to fence line, top to bottom, left to right, we are privately owned. And
Wow.
and if you're talking about water quality and natural resource management and all that stuff, that's why. And they're like, oh no, all these things are going to be voluntary. All these regulations to save our air and water, it's going to be voluntary. When 98% of our property is in that ownership, it's just not going to happen. And of that 98% of the land, 90% of that is ag.
Well, and a lot of these dudes are still mad they can't put tires in the creek, right? Like
Right,
we haven't passed
absolutely.
that barrier yet,
No,
where it's like
we
my
haven't.
land, I should be able to dump these paint buckets wherever I want. Like we have not the point source, non-point source thing that they fudged back in 1970 in the law has never been resolved, right? If you're non-point source, you just throw whatever you want in the creek.
Meanwhile, you guys don't water your lawns. That's the problem.
Okay.
Oh man, somebody got busted online today for like one of the hospitals was doing the full sprinkler system, and it's like, we'll stop when you stop.
For our listeners listening from other parts of the country, there's now a lawn watering ban in Des Moines because of the high nitrate levels, and their nitrate removal systems can't catch up. And also the other number I heard on NPR today, or Iowa Public Radio, 40% of Des Moines' drinking water is used to water the lawn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, and
40%.
And the really bad
Jesus.
coda to that is we are so many years into this lawn watering ban thing that it kind of goes right by you now, right? Something that would have felt like an emergency even a few summers ago is just like, oh yeah, they're telling us not to water the lawn again.
Yeah, so I don't know. And it's interesting. I think a lot of these statistics about water use and land use in Iowa, I do think it's kind of coming to a head. And we saw it in that. I think it's going to become more of an issue in politics and policy making.
Could very
is
well be the number one
crisis.
issue statewide, which does not mean that one side has an advantage. It just means that that will be the issue for sure.
I think so too, John. Yep.
Gives me an excuse why those fucking hydrangeas won't grow out front.
You have to go out at midnight and water them
Can't water 'em.
quietly.
I can't water them. I'm compliant. So I
You
can't
can
water
water them. You can water them, John. You can water your plants, John.
Brian's
not your
water.
grass.
Brian's watering everything. Brian's like, come get me,
Yeah.
copper.
Come bring it,
Water.
motherfucker.
Bring the water police.
Can you use the dirty water out of your dish, after you wash your dishes? And
That's right.
There you go.
That's right. The
Pop
gray
it
water.
right out there.
The gray water.
gray water.
Has there ever been a sci-fi where they had the water police? That's actually a great idea. That'd be a good 80s sci-fi movie.
Ooh, let's work on that.
The water police.
Wasn't that
something
isn't that what
where the
Waterworld's about? No.
Kind of the other way around. You're right. You can't drink any of it unless you
no,
can.
but something where the main character is really angry, mad something. Maybe he's really mad about something.
Oh yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
God,
Anyway.
we just had Mel Gibson. He'd be really good at this, man.
But not the old Mel
perfect for
Gibson,
that
really
role.
young and strapping and
Exactly.
hunky.
Exactly.
Some
Yeah.
spikes.
Exactly.
Yeah,
We
that'd be
just
great.
need Charlize Theron in that too. That'd be gold, baby, gold.
Gold, baby. All right, here's mine. In 2025, more than 1 in 5 Americans financing a new car signed up for a 7-year loan, and more than 1 in 5 took on payments exceeding $1,000 per month. 30 years ago, most buyers expected to have their cars paid off in 4 or 5 years. If my total cost to drive ever even exceeded the $1,000, I think I would lose my mind. And I drive something that is identified as a luxury brand, but these numbers they gobsmacked me. I could see going to the 7 years if you were absolutely strapped and you thought you just weren't going to be able to make the monthly payment, so you were willing to eat the interest over the life of the loan. But if you've got any liquidity at all to do a down payment on a car, you're going to eat into that if you can and shorten the loan. And I just can't. Those terms are things that don't feel real to me. And so when they talk about like houses are unaffordable or whatever, I think that a new car is not far behind. And the act of hubris for somebody who is either young or just getting started to go out and get that, the big truck, the big dual cab truck, because they got to have it because I'm the man of the family or whatever. That act is becoming more and more reckless. And for me, that's kind of a thing to watch. I think even, that has to mean that even a used car, you could be paying, $750 a month on pretty easy if you're not careful. And I don't know how anybody in, millennial or Gen Z is supposed to make that work.
It feels like, that housing bubble situation, but with vehicles. It used to be you would even go into the car dealership and they wouldn't even talk about anything over a 5-year loan. But now we recently, in the last few years, right, bought Tanya a new car, and they were like, "Yeah, we can do this over 5, 6, 7 years." They were offering it right there, so it's amazing.
Well, isn't the newest thing too the 50-year house loan? Instead of a 30-year mortgage, it's a 50-year mortgage.
50-year mortage. Yeah, I don't know if that's taken off much,
they've
but
tried
they're
to push
trying.
that.
I don't think so much. But Mrs. Roper does mortgages, and you don't see very much of that. If you don't see that, it hasn't really taken hold.
But you see, what you're describing, though, John, is why the economy is so weird right now. Because even though inflation is up and a lot of these other economic indicators are pointing downward, consumer spending continues to rise, largely because of the tools that you're describing. It allows people to maintain their lifestyle and keep spending, even though they don't have the goddamn money.
Based on unreasonable credit.
Yes.
The most important number is the percentage of your monthly income going toward financing, right? Everything is financed.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not sustainable.
I think we've got to be either very near or already past a tipping point around this. I just don't see it.
Well, you're already starting to see it. You're starting to see it in private credit. You might have heard on the news about private credit starting to go bad. And that's
I heard on my
about
phone
there.
about private credit. The 7 to 12 calls I get every day spoofing me from the area code that my phone is and offering with wildly Protestant names, offering me more money than I would ever borrow for anything.
What's a wildly Protestant name? What does that even mean?
Well, it's like Keira Knightley calls me one night and then like Max Martin calls me the next night.
Keira Knightley
making
can
shit
call
up
me
now.
Anytime.
And on that note, it's time to do a 3-point turn back in and whip around.
No doubt someone's wondering where we are by now. So before we get called back to reality, let's stick and move with some quick takes, fast laughs, and then we're out. It's time for a good old-fashioned whip around.
Whip around!
Whip around!
The whip around.
All right, quick and dirty. Mandated national parking space width and depth. Yes, no, and why? Let's start out with Jocko.
The answer is yes. And the width conforms to ADA regulations. That's 8 feet, because there's a lot of vehicles out there that are now from mirror to mirror 7 to 8 feet, right? And then also because people can't drive or park. And I've been accused of not being, the best pulling into a parking stall before. So that's on me. So the answer is yes, 8 feet. Good night. Good luck. Out.
All right, John, what do you got?
I can't believe that there's no state laws on this. Iowa doesn't have a uniform statewide parking space width law for ordinary off-street parking lots. That's just crazy to me. Places like Baltimore and New York and Philadelphia, obviously, because they're so congested, had to do that. But the most common dimension is 9 feet by 18 feet. But it's just custom. It has nothing to do with anything that's in law or ordinance. So hell yes. As Paco says, the ADA spaces have a certain width that's dictated. You got to do it for the rest of it too. These vehicles are getting too wide for the existing parking spaces, and the developers are going to take every liberty they can to squeeze in additional spaces because they want to be able to say, I've got 400 spots out here. But I have been in some parking garages lately that were pretty dicey about whether I could get out or get through.
Yep, I would agree. As a matter of fact, I was trying to turn out of a car at Graziano's Brothers, and I scraped the front fender of a car just trying to pull out. Yeah. So just because the spaces are, not very wide, and I was putting 10 pounds in a 5-pound bag, right? So just nature of the beast.
I took my parents to Wrigley a couple weeks back, and Dad got this great parking spot. He got ahead of it and got a good place to park, a weeknight game. But, it's great in theory, driving down Addison 10 minutes before the first pitch. But in practicality, seriously, I had the thing where you pull in the mirrors and just go as slow as you can to hope you can get through. And so we got to do something different.
Yep. I think my thing is, I don't know what the width and depth is on this, but I like the Costco rules because Costco typically has a wider space than normal. It even has a little bit of gray area in there in between the spots. You can easily pull a pickup in and out, or a car that doesn't have very good, angles to get out. And plus, they're just wide. They're wide in between the spots. I'm talking in between the rows.
Yeah,
both
that's nice
cars.
to push your carts and stuff down.
Agreed.
But between the cars, they do that double line thing. So it does create that space there.
Yeah.
Right?
Eric, do you have covered parking at your Costco there?
I was just going to say,
you're at the covered parking Costco, are you not?
I had my dad come down Sunday. It was raining, cats and dogs, and we had to put a ginormous, embarrassingly large TV in the back of his car. And after breakfast, he's like, "Do you still want to do this?" I'm like, yeah. And when we pulled in there, he's like, "Oh, I forgot you had covered parking." I said, "I wouldn't have done this otherwise."
See if I can work that.
You want to
into
talk
every episode
about
now.
milk and honey, Weenus. This
Ta-da.
is milk and honey.
I know. I know.
Costco has covered parking.
And
I know.
Milk and Honey Weenus, and we have another band name.
Yep.
Ew. Gross.
All right, Jax, what do you got, buddy?
I love how you bedwetting communist liberals never met a government standard and a government mandate you didn't like, coming down and telling us regular Americans how wide our parking spaces gotta be. You commie bastards, I tell you. Unbelievable.
They're in our fucking parking spaces. What are you going to paint the stripes pink? That's right.
Unbelievable.
Is it going to be lavender stripes?
Should have expected it from this crowd. Unbelievable.
You're just jealous you don't have Costco up in Dubuque, Jax.
Well, that's true. We don't. Well, and also, I got to admit, because I drive a pickup truck, full-size pickup truck, and I don't even, a lot of times I don't even notice the size of the parking spaces because I always just drive right past all those real small ones and go to the back of the lot and just park in the back where there's a whole bunch of spots around me because I'm not squeezing in that shit. I don't care what size parking lot it is. So that's my deal.
Excellent. Yeah. Excellent. All right.
Very good.
So we are officially whipped. Swear jar amount to benefit American Cancer Society is up to $320 fucking dollars.
Woo!
Closing credits, please.
Thank you for listening to Connect More. I'm the producer. Please subscribe and like this podcast because it's my only chance of getting paid for this gig. Connect More is a product of Pan Tiger LLC and is hosted by Brian Danielson, Eric Van Lanker, Jason Nisus, and John Hedgecoth. Connect More is edited by me and Jocko. The showrunners are Jax, Hedge, and Weenus. Theme music written and recorded by Ryan Veeder. Cover art designed by Leon Golden. Musical director is Evil. Legal liaison is Brian. Lead writers are John and Eric. Runner-up writers are Jason and Captain Danielson. Publication coordinator is Jax. Special thanks to GVC, Aaron, Miss Roper, and Yoko. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure to follow Connect More on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.